Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here with Vicious RV with what is, hands down, the most stunning destination trailer I've had the pleasure of putting my hands on, I think maybe ever. This is a Cedar Creek front living with a rear master suite, and it is beautiful. What is very different about these, like you're gonna look at it and be like, oh yeah, no, that's beautiful. You're also gonna look at the price tag and go, oh, okay, that's a beautiful price tag as well. It is heads and tails in so many ways above and beyond the build and the construction of so many of the destination trailers out there. Like, I'm not knocking them because we carry them, but whether, say it's a J-Flight Bungalow, a Wildwood, Catalina, Cherokee, whoever else making destination trailers, they make perfectly fine trailers, but not like this. This is built exactly like a big Cedar Creek fifth wheel with full aluminum studded walls and extra thick true gel coat skin. Very, very involved heating and cooling package here. It is literally the example of a flat deck fifth wheel. Like, I'll use that phrase every now and then on like a big travel trailer with a bed slide. This is literally, truly a flat deck Cedar Creek. If you're like, I ain't towing it, I drive a Geo Metro. You're like me, you drive a Kia Soul, or as I call it, the Korean Mini Cooper. Because if you look at it, it's basically what it is. It ain't towing nothing though. But what if I just had a seasonal site, a permanent site? I didn't want to tow anything. You can call our people. You don't even need a vehicle. We can deliver this out to you, and you can have a big, beautiful rig without ever needing, say, like a truck payment. You know, you can keep your little gas-sipping car, have your electric Tesla, whatever the case may be. It's awesome. It's different. Gotta remember, it is not the least expensive thing you're gonna see, but if you're looking like, no, I'm seriously thinking about, I got a site, I want to put, like, how about a literal mother-in-law suite? So the trick with like towing an RV, even a big fifth wheel, is you have to move it. What if you made that someone else's problem? What if instead of that you said, I want everything. I want all of the space, all of the comfort, the luxury, the build, the convenience. I don't want restrictions. That's where these come in. And because these are just being planted, they're not being towed a lot, they can do things like have these just awesome front living rooms. Because if you look at this floor plan looks, reads, and feels every day like a rear living room fifth wheel, except it's flipped around backwards. So there's just not a lot of, even a front living room fifth wheel cannot give you this level of window coverage, all of which open for maximum airflow, all of which have day-night roller shades. Now, I haven't tape measured it, but I know this is 8.5 wide. I think this is also 8.5 tall. It's at least 8, if not 8.5. It's huge up here. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, I think that is right about that mark. It is so open and just expansive in here. I absolutely love it. And what's cool is, once again, if you look at it, it just looks like a Cedar Creek fifth wheel. And there are not a lot of brands that build a destination trailer up to the standard of a Cedar Creek. And there's certainly some other very nice destination trailers out there. I do feel this is one of the very best built out there. That being said, it's going to also be more expensive than some of those other guys. That's just going to go along with the nature of the beast. But you get things like, again, the bigger windows, the day-night shades. I love the wraparound treatment. You've got power theater recliners over here, which is nice. And then up front, one of the things you might notice if we look straight up there is the whisper ducted air baffling, because if you don't see the square, you won't hear the air. And then down below that, you see that you've got a big sleeper sofa. Now, what's actually interesting here is in a normal Cedar Creek fifth wheel, it's so big, they don't really have room for side stands beside it, but because this has the extra 6 inches of body width on the destination trailer and the cottages, they can give you a handy side stand over there. There is one thing I want to make you aware of on this one, though. I got mixed feelings about this, because, like, they put a side stand over here, right? There is nothing behind this sofa. If you drop something, it is going to be what James Hetfield from Metallica calls Off to Never Never Land. But I am a firm believer that it's nothing more than an opportunity. You could certainly put a shelf there. Wouldn't be hard. By the way, in case you were wondering if you saw a thing back there, the screen door for the patio door is actually behind the sofa, which is a good place to ship it. A lot of manufacturers ship them under the bed, and if you don't know they're there and you lift the bed, you smash it to bejeebies and back. Not good. Anyway, how could we turn a negative into a positive? My thought, first thing that popped in my head was stuff like board game storage. I'm looking at the floor space in here, and obviously I'm not someone who does this, but I think you have room for like a yoga mat or something in here. So maybe we can call this floor plan Mat-tastic. My old buddy Matt's RV reviews. Maybe that'll be a phrase that he adopts. This RV is Mat-tastic. I don't know. I come up with dumb words. He does his own thing. But you know, he and I, whenever we chat, we always have a good time. We have a good, healthy respect for one another. We're just a bunch of goofballs waving a camera around campers. You know, that's all we're doing. Electric space heating. Over here it'd be a Tootsie Toaster. If you were over there, though, it would be a toenail toaster or a footsie fryer, without a doubt. That TV can pivot around for viewing from the sofa, by the way. But for all the glory I give this living room, it is truly the kitchen that blows me away on it. I love the open space. I love the big feel. But, I mean, show me another RV that has this level of, hey man, you're home in it. Because this kitchen doesn't feel like a camper kitchen. It doesn't even feel necessarily like a fifth wheel kitchen. It is definitely something bigger, something better. Ironically, this kitchen feels a lot like a Cedar Creek kitchen. But if you've watched my other Cedar Creek videos, you know that I speak very highly of their kitchen facilities. Now, with the extra tall ceiling, they have room for extra tall slides, which not every travel trailer does. A little more common in destination trailers, certainly. And I love the Symmetry kitchen because it eliminates one of my biggest gripes. The fact that it doesn't need a side splash where so many other RVs, I feel, are really missing the mark by not including something like that. And anytime someone starts putting shelves in a pantry that open up to me instead of me digging through stuff, I'm just like, shut up and take my money. But you notice there's a really big gap right there. You're like, what is going on? If you look in the back, there's actually a set of power outlets right there. That is purposely intended to be bigger and more open. So if you want to use that as like a appliance shelf that you pull out when you need and slide closed when you don't, it's right there. Very, very large residential refrigerator on this one, and a very trendy one with like an interesting double drawer freezer. I've got something like that at home. That being said, I will ask if anybody does refrigerator design, when there's split doors, please don't do one big giant drawer like that. If I want to get a cheese stick out of that thing, I have to open both doors. It seems silly and unnecessary. I didn't realize how aggressively I felt about cheese sticks in a drawer. Huh. So cheese stickling aside, you know, it's so long they have room for this entire, like, I'm going to call that a legit coffee bar. I think somebody might call that like a coffee and Bailey's bar. It's to each their own. Everyone does their own thing. This is classic Cedar Creek awesome sauce right here. So I've got to get a big drawer out of the way to reveal another drawer that I have to get out of the way to reveal another wastebasket. Double up. The Sir Mix-a-Lot wastebasket system. Does it get better than that? Now, the cabinetry that we were looking at there, it's all pocket screwed. It does have a sticker wrap. Here's like a little sample from the back side, just in case you're curious there. All of these windows have day and night shades. I think I mentioned that. If I didn't, I'm sorry. I've done so many videos so fast, it's starting to get blurry. And this thing over here, the big patio door, of course, does have blinds that can close that down. You see that little rod kind of hanging down right there, giving you a bit of an indicator. Now, whether it's here in the kitchen or over in the bathroom, just like a Cedar Creek fifth wheel, you're going to get one of those big rain sensor and max air kind of vent fans. And we can jump from one to the other. Now, because they are both up so high, you see that knob turning, you saw the vent opening itself. Because they're up so high, they both have a little wall control switch. Otherwise, you'd be poking at the roof with a broomstick. Speaking of poking at the roof, look at this. I can stay in the shower. I can't touch the top of the skylight. It's absolutely enormous in here. That is one of the really cool things about a fifth wheel with a lower deck bathroom, which is rare, or a destination trailer. If you're tall, destination trailers are about the very best thing you could possibly find out there. And they didn't waste any of that. So I would recommend calling my friend Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain to reach the stuff on the upper shelves, or getting yourselves a little stool. Now, of course, you have awesome legroom around here, more so than most Cedar Creek fifth wheels. Because of the extra body width, they have a little more room to put on either side of you in the bathroom as well. Now, sliding out of the bathroom, the bedroom's in the back. It's the last thing we have left to look at. Then we're actually gonna close this up. I would call it road mode. We'll call it storage mode on a destination trailer. You have your choice of a king or a queen bed. I don't know that I've done a good job of explaining that on a lot of the Cedar Creeks. But again, like all other Cedar Creeks, you have that cadet space heater here. Like in the living room, you have that electric fireplace. This is a dedicated heater into this room. Now, on the fifth wheels, I have tested it, and I have verified that you won't hit anything if you're laying in bed and sit up. I haven't tried that on these. Let's give her a shot. Okay, so what I want you to see is that I'm not like laying in the middle of the bed and giving you a skewed perspective on stuff. I'm not going to throw away my integrity over a bedside stand after all the work years I've spent trying to establish myself as somebody who's willing to show you the good with the bad. I'm going to use this pillow to kind of simulate where you'd have a pillow normally. Anyway, I think a little bit off center. Seems pretty reasonable, right? And if I just lay back, yeah, no, not a problem. You're not going to hit your head in here, even with all this extra overhead cabinet space. And that surprised me. It looked closer. Like when I just looked down like this, it looks like, oh, you're going to hit your head. I was shocked. I wasn't even close, you know? I got a long body. I fit pretty nicely. The fit and the finish in here is freaking fantastic, man. Sorry. I'm just looking around. I'm just impressed. Anyway, that is deep. There's a reason I want to make sure you got to see that. A lot of times overhead cabinet storage in trailers is not great. And because it's just super tall all the way through, they said, hey, we got all kinds of space here. Now, this rear closet, you might notice there's a little bit of a box back there. That's actually a gigantic water heater that we'll look at when we'll go outside. This thing is like, if you want to take a bunch of hot showers, you can. Now, we'll crack open the rest of the storage in just a minute. First of all, let me actually kind of lean over here on the bed. I still have my shoes. I don't want to track my shoes all over someone's, bedding. But the TV angles downward, and they gave us a monster pic. Whoa. Whoa, look at that. It's the little things, obviously, that catch my attention. I get so bored with the same things all the time. I see little, so I'm like, and the extra handle here to come and go like that. Understanding. Sorry. I got literally choked up, but not for like an emotional reason. I just literally choked on thin air. Pardon me. Knowing who their buyer is, knowing that it's probably somebody with a little hitch in their giddy up and whatnot. That is just amazing attention to detail, I think. Wow. Again, just like their fifth wheels with the little night navigation lighting down below and the, I'm going to call it jewelry box hidden storage flip top above. Now over here, it's either a continuation of the closet or you see how that door slides out of the way. That way it doesn't swing open and cause problems. That is combo or stackable washer dryer prepped in there, which is very cool. And then another chunk of storage above. And I think we are finally ready to close the slides on this piece. I am wondering if it's in storage mode and you need to get in and pack it or prep it, what can we get to? And the answer, I think, is a little bit better than what I expected. The bedroom, the bathroom, pretty normal. Whether you come in from the rear, call it camper door, or from the living room sliding patio door, you can get to the bedroom or the bathroom. To get to the closet, you're definitely climbing over the bed. But when you walk in here, a lot of destination trailers don't let you get to the fridge. And I think their history as just a big-time fifth wheel builder really came into play here. Because you can one of the big things you need, a lot of times in a destination trailer, you're going to leave the cabinets packed. But you need to put food in the fridge when you're ready to camp, because that's spoilage. This was a smart design decision. Now, as I was doing this, I noticed something that kind of concerned me with that fan up there. And I don't think it's really a big deal, but it is just with 13 plus years now of experience, certain things I've learned to look for, because along the way, sometimes you break stuff. And my dad always used to say that experience is nothing more than how many times you've been kicked around the block. I'm sorry, let me just get to the point. I have a problem with that. You gotta make sure that ceiling fan back there, those big black blades, you gotta make sure that's turned off before you close this slide. Because this slide will actually come under that fan, and then when it lifts up, it will touch the fan blades. Now, it's not breaking anything, but if you leave it running, it could stress burn out that motor, and depending on what happens there, that could be a fire situation. Obviously, I think when most people are done camping, they're going to turn the fans off. It's one switch by the slide button. What I would do, I would put like an orange sticker on the slide button and a matching orange sticker on the fan button, so that you're like, oh yeah, gotta hit the fan button. I don't think it's a big deal, but if I can help somebody avoid damaging their RV, I'm going to. And if you appreciate the fact that we go out of our way to do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's hop outside. Now, I called this a flat deck fifth wheel. All the features and builds of a traditional Cedar Creek on one flat deck. There is one other significant difference here, is that when you go to a cottage, it becomes a 102 wide model. So the standard Cedar Creeks are 8 foot wide. These are 8.5. That is maximum width before something has to be placarded for wide loads. So they make this, it's like 8.5 foot tall inside, 8.5 foot tall outside. It's a big square brick, which is why this isn't something you probably want to tow regularly. And is this cheesy or is it cute? The little picket fence simulation on the nose cap there. I think it's maybe a little bit of both, but I don't know. I like it. Like, I don't mind a little ham and cheese every now and then. Delicious. And oh my Lord, tell me, what other RV can give you views and windows like that on the door side and front of the RV? That is just not something that you can get every day. Now, this is a true gel coat. It is not laminated. If you don't know what that means, feel free to give our team a call. We can help explain this, but it is a thicker, higher grade, better finish of fiberglass. And the walls are fully studded out like a stick-built trailer, but with aluminum studs, meaning there's actually more studs in these walls than any laminated fifth wheel would ever have. And that is a very classic high-end construction method. It is something that just kind of, as lamination became more common, became less common in the industry, the non-laminated variety, obviously. Sorry, I kind of lost my own train of thought there and went off the rails. Now, you might notice down here, they're not using the fancy pants, shiny shoes stable steps. That's because a lot of these destination trailers, people will build a deck next to them at their destination. And they want those steps to be able to get out of the way. Now, you could always just build a set of steps or whatever works for you, I've actually seen a pretty common trend on destination trailers where folks will go ahead and ask us to remove the power awning and just save the hardware, sell it on eBay or Craigslist or whatever, Facebook Marketplace, and then put like a hard shell, more permanent enclosure on there. And that's kind of the thing. And it's also a little bit interesting. You look at these and you're like, wait, whoa. Are you serious? These don't have auto leveling or anything like that. But here's the thing. Auto leveling is very expensive. And a trailer like this, you're probably going to get it there. You're going to get it set and leveled, and you're going to leave it. After that, the auto leveling isn't doing much for you. If you want a little additional stability. Did you notice, by the way, speaking of stability, they do set an extra pair of jacks right behind the tires to really help control a lot of that wiggle and the jiggle. But you could get things like JT strong arm stabilizers to, help a little bit there. There's things you can do to maintain stability without the huge cost of things like power jacks. Now, the one hiccup with destination trailers across the board is they ain't got much to write home about in terms of outside storage. And this RV, for all of its high points, is certainly no exception. What we're looking at over here is some systems access stuff. Like this is our water pump and whatnot. So that, or hydraulic pump rather. I'm sorry, not water pump, hydraulic pump. Also, you have your flow control valves there. So if you only want to open one or two slides or whatever, control which one you want to pop. Now, this is, if you've watched our destination trailer videos on things like Wildwoods, this is basically very similar. A big, giant, like residential style, huge water heater system as compared to a, normal travel trailer, like 6-gallon vessel. I'm eyeballing that. I think that's about 20 gallons right there. So you want to take some serious back-to-back showers, use it more like a house you can. And like I said, these things do not have much in the way of outside storage. Let me kick on the little lamp for you there. It ain't much. It's the only thing you got. It goes under the bed, but I suppose it's better than nothing. And there's actually some interesting points of discussion comparing a destination trailer versus a fifth wheel for just seasonal or permanent site use, like if you have no intention of towing the thing. Overall, I think a lot of people will enjoy the daily experience in a destination trailer better, especially if you've got a hitch in your giddy up and you don't want to go down a bunch of extra stairs. But again, a fifth wheel does have that outside storage that a destination trailer never will. Which one's the best kind of depends on how you're going to camp. And actually, I'll leave you a link in the video description, unless I forget. And if I do, leave me a note and I'll try to remember to update that. Comparing the benefits and drawbacks both ways to help you make sure you're getting the right one for you. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, best wishes from Bish's. Really appreciate all the continued viewership and support that you've offered here. It's a lot of work putting these videos together. I got here way early, right when the lights first came on, hours before the display opened, so that I could get you this footage without a bunch of people running around, cruising around, a bunch of background noise. I hope you appreciate the extra effort that we put out here, and understand, if we're willing to do this just to show you around and to give you an idea, imagine what we will do for you when you give us the opportunity to earn your business. I'd love for you to be able to find out sometime. And it's cool if it's not this one. Something else you're looking for, there's not much that we can't get for you. So when you're ready, we're ready. You take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.